Pulling the brakes down isn't the only way to turn. You can also do the exact opposite and still turn. How? If I pull both brakes, not just 10% or 20%, but enough to feel more pressure, let's say 30% or 40%, I hold that and then raise the opposite hand from the direction I want to turn. For example, I'll raise my left hand and keep my right hand steady, and I'll turn to the right like this, always helping a bit with my body. What's the advantage of doing the opposite, keeping the wing braked and turning by lifting one hand? The main benefit is that when I have the wing braked, and I'm not talking about a light brake, because we know that lightly braking the wing at 10% or 15% can make it more unstable. If I'm braking at around 30 to 40%, my sink rate is much higher and my glide ratio decreases. This can help with a tricky approach. I'm flying braked, descending faster than normal, and if I need to make adjustments or turns, I lift the opposite hand from the direction I want to turn. This allows me to make the approach easier. I'm also flying slower, which helps me gauge the approach more accurately. By flying slower with a higher sink rate, it's easier to land in a smaller space. If I fly hands up, I'll be flying faster with my best glide and sink rate, and I might overshoot the landing field or need to make additional turns. But if I'm flying braked, I'm slower with poor glide and a high sink rate, which lets me calculate the approach more precisely. I should clarify that I personally don't like to use or teach this technique. For me, it's always safer to use big ears than to fly braked when trying to land in a small area. I don't like flying with the wing heavily braked because even if the paraglider is new, there's always a risk it could stall due to turbulence or external factor. However, I'm explaining it in this video because there are situations where this technique can be useful, as I'll explain at the end of the video. For example, when doing a top landing or to kill the wing in a specific spot after landing. In none of my courses, basic, intermediate, or advanced, do I teach students to use this technique. This technique, braking and turning by raising one hand in the opposite direction of the turn, is only recommended if your paraglider is new or has been recently inspected, has around 50 hours of flight time, or if the inspections have been done regularly and it has less than 50 or 100 hours since its last checkup. Why? Because if I do this with an older paraglider that might be a bit porous or has lines that are out of trim, if I break the wing, two things could happen. One, there's a risk the wing could enter parachutal stall. And two, if I break the wing and lift one hand, there's a risk the wing could enter a negative turn or helicopter. So I'll only use this technique if my paraglider is new or has been inspected recently and is in perfect condition with excellent porosity levels and proper trim. If that's the case, then I can practice this technique. This technique is also useful at an advanced level, for example, when doing top landings when I want to land on the top of a mountain. In this situation, I'll brake the wing heavily and fly as slowly as possible to land in a small area on top of the mountain. If I'm heavily braked and need to make corrections, if I brake even more to turn, I could enter a negative spin. In those cases, I keep the wing braked and gradually raise my hands to adjust my course. This technique of raising one hand is also useful after landing when I want to kill the wing in a specific direction. For example, here at the beach, we land and guide the wing toward the sidewalk. After landing, we do a normal flare, and once we're on the ground, we lift the right hand so that the wing falls toward the sidewalk, preventing it from falling into the ocean, which is the most dangerous situation here.